Got it.
Awesome. It's happening. Welcome to the Austin Downbeat. I'm so excited for this episode. I've been watching
Yeah.
this guy over here, San Gabriel, aka James, sitting by the river. Um, I've been watching him on social media and just loving what he's doing. So here he is. And if you don't know him, then I'm so happy to introduce him to you. San
Yay.
Gabriel, James of San Gabriel. Welcome to the
Hello.
show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love that you're sitting outside right off of the shore of the San Gabriel River. That's so fitting.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a beautiful spring day.
It is. And we're in a great mood, aren't we, James?
I'm in a terrific mood. Yes, as we discussed, I went to a coin star with my pickle jar of change, and it was 166 bucks.
Yeah. So
I
that's
was guessing it was like 40, so I'm happy.
yeah, four times that, right? I'm not a math gal, but that's four
That's
times.
about right. Yeah.
Well, you've had a good day. So yeah, it's springtime in Austin and I agree with you. It's just like be outside. It's not hot. There's no humidity in the air. It's
Right.
perfect
It's
if it could
perfect.
stay.
Driving with the windows down and the AC on.
Yes.
Perfect. It's just perfect.
And the music up. What do you listen to in the car? What's your go?
Oh, embarrassingly enough, I was listening to myself. I just got I just got a new master from this mastering engineer for a song I'm putting out, and you always got to give it like the drive test. You got to
Sure.
listen to it in the car and see how it feels. And
Yeah.
I'm really lucky to work with a really talented engineer named Grant Epley. He works with Spoon,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then we just got a new guy to start mastering, and I love his work.
Oh,
So I'm
sweet.
super stoked. So I was listening to a couple of those new things.
I love that. Yeah, drive test. The car for me is the place where, like, when I prep for interviews and I'm listening to music, I mean, I definitely have headphones and that's always important when you're inside, but the car is where my mind is so much freer. It's kind of like being in the shower. I just don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that
yeah.
radio in my shower, but like it's that place where your mind just kind of lets go and you're sort of focused on driving but not really because we don't have to focus.
I I love it. That's something I learned from touring. I love long drives. Also, I was going to recommend get you can get a shower Bluetooth speaker,
Oh, that can
waterproof
get
shower
right in
Bluetooth.
there. Oh, I should do that. Let me
That's
write
a
that
thing. But I digress. Um, yeah, that was my drive test, and it was like beautiful. AC on and a little bit of warmth outside in spring. It's
down.
perfect for me.
I know. And the birds are chirping and
The birds are
everything's
chirping.
so
Yeah,
happy and green right now. Have you been doing a bunch of travel recently? I've been seeing stuff. Your social media is so fun because you really are making this big push right now, and
yeah.
really sharing your music, which is so cool. And we'll talk about that. But you've been traveling, right?
I've been trying, but yeah, I've been splitting my time between Portland and
Oh,
Austin. So my
oh,
girlfriend is in school up there. Um, And so I was up there for 2 months, kind of introducing myself to the scene. I played up there a bunch, like, because I get some pretty good radio play up there and some good shows. And so I'm going back up to do that for another month or two.
mhm.
Uh, just really trying to develop playing up there. There's a lot of places you can play between Portland. I usually do like Portland, Centerville, Bellingham, Olympia, Tacoma, Seattle, and then there's like the San Juan Islands way north.
Yeah,
I'll kind of make a little route out of that. Um,
yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then I also went to Alaska just for like a personal. That was my 50th state.
How was Alaska for you?
Is beautiful. The culture is really cool. There's the native culture up there is awesome.
Mhm.
Um, we saw the Northern Lights,
I
which I'd
saw
never
a
seen before.
I saw your photo from the plane and I was
Yeah,
like, why
it
didn't
looks.
he lead with that photo?
Yeah, I probably should have. The picture I led with was not good.
No,
Uh,
no, no, not, but I'm like, that is
it
amazing.
looks so we.
Unreal.
It looks for fake. Yeah, it's weird to be an adult and be like, I'm looking at something, and half of me is like, this isn't real. Like, right? Like we're all seeing this. It'd be like seeing a ghost in real life. It's just that the sky is glowing, and it looks like when you like turn a stove on, like it looks like flames almost in person.
Yeah.
Um, but it was really cool. I'm lucky that I've gotten to travel a lot, and I'm lucky that I still do. And so really, really pleased that I'm about to start doing a little bit more touring too. So
Good. Your
yeah,
music is so good. I love, love,
thank
love
you.
listening to somebody for the first time. And I love when I like it, like really, really like it. You
Wow, thank you.
you have this way of like really, for me at least, really like hooking me right away. Like you have me right away when I turn the song on, you know? And that doesn't happen with everything and everyone, and I would assume that that's hard to create, but that's the first thing that kind of stuck out when I listened to you for the very first time.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I try to make it fun.
Yeah.
That's like my. I mean, I've always played music. I've always written songs, but I think this was the first time that I was like, okay, like I really want to focus on something that is, I don't want to say easy, maybe easy to listen to, but just immediately fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Easy. Yeah.
Fun and danceable and easy, and it it's difficult and it's not because I write a lot.
Yeah.
So like sometimes an idea is just bad and then you move on. Most of them are bad, and if you just I write a lot, and eventually something comes out that's good, and I'm like, okay, now I have this song, I can start playing it live, and um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was like a kind of a funny shift from the music that I used to make into what I make now. But this was just kind of like I just want to have fun. I was just entertaining myself when I
Hmm.
started out, and I'm still doing the same thing. Just now, I get to
Yeah.
tour a little bit more.
Yeah, it's neat. It's like I was listening again today in the car, and it was real like danceable, danceable, and then you did this really cool break section where you kind of went off, and I literally had people on a dance floor in my mind, of like, and so it's funny that you said that because that's literally the visual of like I could see a ton of people dancing to this,
Yeah,
like
I'm an '80s baby, and like part of it is like I always want it to feel like it could be in a montage of a movie,
I
like
did get a
movie
real.
montage music.
Yes, I got that too. I was gonna say, like, just that cinematic, moody feel, like your music would go overlaid really well on a very clear mood or like montagey kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, someone told me that my music would be really good in who's the director of Fast Times at not Fast Times, Pretty in Pink.
Oh.
I can look it up.
John. Oh. Um. I'm blanking.
John Hughes.
John Hughes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so people have told me like your music is perfect for a John Hughes movie, and I'm like, okay, you know what, like that. But overall, I want it to be fun and danceable,
Yeah.
and that's really kind of my only concern. Not my only concern, but like for someone that's listening to it, like I try to put an identifying thing in the beginning of the song that's just like a fun little goofy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like with Tape Machine, there's like I recorded like my reel to reel. I put my a tape in. I had a tape player in my car at the time, and I put the tape in and recorded it. And I wanted it to sound like putting in a tape and a song starting.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I just like doing fun little things like that.
Now, this project was born out of inside of COVID or out of COVID or through COVID. Uh,
Yeah,
so I think it's kind of extra cool and ironic maybe that during such a tough time that we all had during that, especially for musicians, it just sort of like just changing the game for everyone, that you came up with such a fun project. Was that just what came out, or was that a real like intentional thing? What was
it.
the thinking?
I don't know that it was intentional for it to be. I mean, it was intentional for it to be fun. I wasn't trying to like. I think I was mostly just trying to amuse myself. My life really didn't change that much during COVID
Oh, okay.
because I was working at the liquor store and they decided that was an essential business. So I went to work every day. I mean, I wore a mask and
Yeah.
constantly sanitized, but like my day to day, and I feel really fortunate. I mean, not only did I get to make money, like have a job at all, but I got to interact with people constantly,
Yeah.
just every day. Um, but I did something in me changed in. I kind of thought to myself like, well, if I'm gonna call myself a musician, I kind of started thinking like, well, it's my job to maybe make people feel better if I'm making music.
Yeah.
Or I don't really know how to explain it, but I kind of started thinking about it that way, and that made me take myself and the music and the recording a lot more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it kind of like I was really working really hard and writing and recording a bunch just to get the project off the ground. Um, but yeah, in some ways it was intentional.
Yeah.
I figured if I'm going to call myself a musician, that I have to kind of put myself out there in a way that I'll get more. Oh, sorry, the sprinklers are coming on. I would get more comfortable with putting myself. Maybe I should go inside. Is that loud? But yeah, it was somewhat intentional.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been a musician for a long time, and prior to that, you were in a band. Is this the first time you've ever sort of gone solo and it's just been you? Okay, so talk about that because that sounds terrifying.
It is. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always a side guy, and I was a banjo player,
Yeah.
and I sang a couple songs that I'd written in the band, and that was cool. Um, and yeah, I just started writing music, and then I was like, oh, now I'm a front person, which I was not comfortable with. Like
Yeah.
the releasing my first song was so difficult. Like just to you make something and you're like, I don't know if anyone's gonna care about this or
Right.
not. I'm not a person that's super comfortable having a lot of attention on myself, so that was kind of weird. And now I'm like a front guy, which is fine, but it's scary, and I've gotten better at it. Like the more I've toured alone,
Yeah.
I just show up to a venue by myself, make friends with people, play, and then leave. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it.
Do you slip into a different sort of part of yourself, or have you
I
just,
wish I could.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm just like a self-conscious guy standing on stage. Uh, no, I used to be more shy, and it's made me a little bit less shy. But I don't do like an alter ego, or I don't have a.
Well,
I wish I did.
yeah. Well, you know how like Beyonce slips into Sasha
Sasha Fierce,
Fierce.
yeah. Honestly, I've thought about it, and I don't know, I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I appreciate that. And I don't think you have to do it. I'm trying to picture myself though, too. Like I almost would have to slip into to another. I mean, I'm a former actor, so I think that would be it would be easy maybe for me to do that.
get
But
into character.
yeah, I would almost have to get into character. Just because I would be terrified to do what you do. That's why I have so much respect for what you do and the level of vulnerability putting yourself out there is just so I just deeply respect it. I think it's so cool. And the
It's a funny
process,
thing to do, but it's
yeah.
I talk to my therapist, and I'm like, what is it about me that, like, as a grown man, I feel like I have to process the world by writing songs about it, and then I now have to get on stage and sing my feelings to people. It's so like, stepping outside of myself, I'm like, this is a really crazy thing to do. Um, and it's definitely self-conscious, but it's fun. Like, I think my favorite. I've played music since I was 5, and I'm
Oh.
39 now. So I've played, I mean, my entire life, and the things I love about music have changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very lucky that as long as I've been playing music, I love it more than ever. But I love it for different reasons. Like now, when I watch music, I will watch how people enjoy music. Like I
Mm-hmm.
saw, like, I don't know, probably 50,000 people watching Yeah Yeah Yeahs at ACL,
Yeah.
and music means so much to people. Like
Yeah.
it's so moving just watching music fans.
Yeah.
Um, Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. You'll have to guide me back to what we were talking about.
No, no, no. Yeah, no, I love that too. I was right. I was hook, line, and sinker following with you. I what were we talking about? We were talking about I have no idea, but I will say what like because you've been doing it for so long, what is your why now? Like when at the end of the day, what does it come down to? Why do you keep doing it and what does it continue to like I'm assuming that you sort of are one of those people that sort of has to do it. Like this is what drives you. This is what
I
is
think that
it,
it's how I process everything in the world. That sounds maybe weird to say, but like I think that, like, writing and recording songs is how I process my emotions.
yeah.
Um, also I just love it. I love playing guitar. Like anytime I go in, like I just went to Alaska. That's the first time in my entire life that I've flown somewhere without a guitar.
Oh, wow.
Since I was 5, and like I could carry them, I could like always brought my guitar with me.
Did you
Uh,
feel so naked?
it feels weird to not like just sit down and play or do something, but I mean, yeah, I love it. But I've asked myself that same question sometimes, and I think it's my way of making sense of the world and processing. I think everyone has like
Yeah.
creative things that they do. You know, I'd venture to say that everyone is an artist, maybe not in a way that is traditional. Like my mom, for instance, she's like, I'm not artistic. It's like, well, you make quilts, like
That's art.
of really like hand stitched quilts, and like people do things. Everyone kind of needs an outlet, and this is just one of mine, and
Yeah.
it's just the one that I'm the most into, I guess.
What else do you do?
I skateboard, I write, I draw. Um, that's kind of it. Mostly, it really is music. Like I feel very lucky, and I
Mhm.
mentioned that before, but I love music as much as I ever have, and that's a lot. Like even as a tiny little like 9-year-old James, like taping
Oh,
Nirvana songs off the radio, I feel like the same guy. Like I still do that, and like it's endless joy to me. Like I
yeah.
can sit down and learn songs forever and just be like the happiest guy in the world.
Yeah. I was like that too. I was just talking to a friend about it yesterday. I had a keyboard when I was a little girl, and I remember teaching myself the song Lean on Me. Um,
Hmm.
and like figuring it out, and then I mastered it, and it was like moved on to Beatles songs and Michael Jackson and Madonna. And I was born in the late 70s, so the 80s for me were at the perfect time.
Perfect time. There's a lot of great music, and there's a lot of great music now, but there was a
Oh,
lot of great acts in the '80s.
are you telling
So
me?
I'm so I was born in '84, but same thing. My folks are really into music. Um, my dad, my older brother loved this Cyndi Lauper record, like just like only a little kid can love. Girls just want to have fun. So my early memories are like being a fat little child, like a little rugrat, and my brother would just be like, "Play it again, play it again." We would just listen to the Cyndi Lauper record. But then my dad really liked Devo and Talking Heads.
Yeah.
My first concert was Michael Jackson in '92 in Germany at like the
What?
height of his fame. So like these experiences that I had, seeing I was 7 when I saw Michael Jackson, and I can visualize what I experienced in 1992. Like I still have the ticket, I have a T-shirt, but like I was already so into music. Just as I don't know if you remember your first memories of playing piano, but it's like magic.
Yes.
And you do something right, and you're like, wow, what did I just do?
It's
Like,
sound, it's like frequency, like you hit a frequency.
yeah,
Yeah.
and gosh, what was I don't even remember what I was talking about. '80s baby. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just was so in love with it, and that was such a great time to see Michael Jackson at the top of his career, and it
Yeah.
just always stuck to me. It's just always something that's resonated so much to me. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I mean, that's why I do this, is because it's so important. And I agree with you 100%. There's nothing like writing something and and really capturing in the perfect amount of words the the spirit and the feel of what you felt or experienced, and you just catch it perfectly, and it fits in this really awesome kind of lyrical container. And or turning a song on and hearing someone else do that, and hearing that put to music, and you going like, yes, that exactly, I know how
Oh,
to do
totally.
that. Like,
You're like, I didn't know someone could make a song about how I feel.
and the most fleeting of feelings sometimes too. Like, it's the most nuanced, beautiful little
I,
experience that you could have had, and they just said it in a whole song like so perfectly. It's life changing, really.
I feel like that, like music is like kind of where like words fail, like
Yeah.
speaking, that music can do that, and I also a lot of other forms of art. But
Yes.
to me, that's like you can have so many complex feelings that you don't even know what you're feeling. But
Mhm.
like the song or like a song or whatever can be like it can feel like a song understands me more than I understand myself. fun. And that can be someone else's song or something that I'm writing.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, and part of me, like, when I started really taking San Gabriel seriously, that was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Like, this is, I've had the kind of unique privilege of being a musician and watching people watch us and be like, oh,
Hmm.
someone can really have like a really strong emotional reaction to a song that I wrote. And as someone, you know, people have come up to me and been like, this song really helped me get through like a really rough
Yeah.
relationship. And you're like, wow, you know, like I thought to myself, like, if I can do that, you know, if I want to call myself a musician, I have to really try my best to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and whether or not I do, I don't, you know, that's up to other people, but I really try really, really hard.
Well, I think you're doing a great job.
Well,
So
thank you.
yeah, I mean, I totally dig it. Like you're being added to my liked songs on Spotify and getting in
I
rotation.
love that. Thank you.
Woohoo! What do you have coming up? So I don't want to let you go without talking about, let me see. I can't see without these on. Um what do you, I know that you're recording, you've been kind of releasing some things here and there, and I know eventually we will get a full length album out of you, but
Yes.
no pressure because these days, it's
It's fun.
different.
It's different to build a career. Um,
Mhm.
I have about 2.5 albums done,
Oh,
and I'm just going to be releasing about every 2 months.
great.
Um, the next song is called "Life in the Past Lane,"
Ooh,
which is I think I'm so clever for thinking of that.
you
Uh,
win. You
I
win.
didn't know if it was too cheesy, if that's too cheesy of like a song name, but I don't care.
Who
It's funny.
cares?
It's a fun little sad dance song.
You got
Um,
to send it to me. I want a little.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I was actually listening to on the way here. But
Okay,
that's
good.
going to be out the 22nd of April,
Oh, perfect. So that's
so
coming up.
soon.
Yeah,
Um, and then I'm doing like some West Coast touring
yeah.
over the next couple of months.
Let's try to get you to become the Noah Khan of the Pacific Northwest.
You know, that's all I ask. You know,
You don't
really,
want much.
yeah, I don't want much. I just want to be the most famous. No, I just like I'm lucky. There's a lot of things have come in like to make me love being a musician. Chief
Mhm.
among them being that I love long drives.
Yes.
Like I love a road trip. I love sitting in a car and like music making so far has been like touring and making friends and
Yeah.
long drives, and it's like the ultimate combo.
What else do you need? Yeah.
Yeah, so the plan for 2024 is to just release every couple months and tour. I tour in a little station wagon and that's it.
I love that. Do you have any road trip tips for those of us that might be taking any trips this summer?
I got a bunch. If you need to stay awake, sunflower seeds.
Oh,
I don't know if you've ever done that. You can't fall asleep eating sunflower seeds. Problem is you get dehydrated, so you need to get electrolytes, sunflower seeds, and water.
okay.
Uh, that's a great way, like night drives to stay awake.
Okay.
You can listen to comedy to pass the time.
Yeah.
It just goes like that. Like you can, because you can listen to like an hour and a half comedy thing, and it feels like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Always bring a water, but like a Nalgene.
Hmm.
That's a good one. And if it's a long road trip, go to a grocery store and get stuff to make good food.
Pack a
That's what
cooler.
I from touring like for years we would tour like 300 dates a year, and the United States has a lot of Love's truck stops, and the
Yes.
healthiest option at a Love's truck stop is Subway. And I'll never eat at another Subway in my life. I've eaten at so many Subways, and I'm just like, oh god, the bread tastes like cardboard. And
Yeah.
I just started bringing my own food. And if you can get fresh food on the road, you got to do it because you will get tired of eating burgers
Yeah.
or Subway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'm so excited. So new music coming later this month, which is
Right.
awesome. Are you playing anytime soon in Austin?
Yeah, I'm actually playing this Friday, the 5th, at the French Legation.
Ooh,
That's up on the east side. It's an outdoor porch show,
so fun.
um, which I'm pumped about. I love a good family friendly show,
Yes.
and I don't swear in my songs, so That's an intentional thing. I don't swear in my songs, and it's fun to watch people of different ages enjoy music, especially
Yeah.
kids enjoying music. That's so cool. Um,
I know. I love it. I was just talking to a friend yesterday and her little 9-year-old was there. And I do a live show format of this show. And I have a taping coming up on Sunday. And I was telling the mom about it. And the little girl is so into music. Like she's playing piano. She just started playing violin. And she goes, what, there's music? And I go, yeah, do you want to come? She goes, I'm coming. I go, well, do you want to know? Like, do you want me to tell you? Nope. If there's music, I'm
doesn't
coming.
matter.
And that
Yeah,
was just like, oh my God, that just give me that all day long. I love a little kid that is so into it.
it's really cool. My old band would do like anything from like huge festival stages to like playing someone's living room. And I loved
Yes.
all of them, but like there's one that we were playing, and this little kid like fell in love with the banjo,
Oh,
and he just ran up to me, was like pulling on my leg the whole time. I was like, this is so cool. Like when you're that age, it's like magic, Like I don't
yes.
know. I still remember like listening to music early on as a kid and just being like, whoa. Like I still do it now. I'm lucky to still feel that way, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, it'll be a good family friendly Friday show.
I love that. I love a good house concerty, porch concert kind of vibe. That's
And with this
awesome.
weather, look at this
Yeah.
sunset.
I
Insane.
mean, and everything is so green right now. I know we're always in a drought, but everything is so green. It's so pretty when
The
you
trees
drive.
are lush. Yeah, it's like the perfect time of year.
Yeah. Well, awesome. James, I'm so
Yeah.
happy to meet you. I can't wait to meet you
Likewise.
in real life. I'm gonna come and give you a big hug when I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so
Um,
much for coming on.
yeah, thank you for having me. I'm about to send you this Life in the Past Lane thing.
I love the name. I love a good pun.
It's pretty punny, but like I don't know. I just thought it was. I think I'm hilarious for that. Maybe other people will think it's silly, and it is a little bit, but that's okay.
Who cares? We cannot live our lives caring about what other people think. We really can't. I mean, you know that as a musician standing up there, like not everyone is going to like us. You know what I mean?
I had to give myself permission to like have fun with stuff and not take it
Yeah.
super seriously. But
Yeah.
I think like I don't know. I did this tour with this young guy named Goth Babe, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, I used to like be really nervous about this stuff. He was like, people just want to have fun, and they want to see like everybody has a weird quirky side that they're like embarrassed about,
Yeah.
and I'm just over being embarrassed about it. Just let it out, and if that means having a goofy song title, so
Yeah.
be it.
Let your freak flag fly.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome. James, thanks so much for stopping by. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. I
Thank you for
can't,
having me.
yeah, and I can't wait to see you play live. And I can't wait for the new songs to come out little by little.
Right
They're
on. Yeah.
really,
Thank you.
really great. I love what you do.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks so much to James from San Gabriel. Be sure to follow him. James, what is your Instagram?
San Gabriel Music.
There you
S
go.
A N G A B R I E L Music.
Follow him. Get him up to 10,000 followers. That would be so fun. Nice
We'll
little
get there.
milestone. Yes, of course. All right. We will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye, y'all.